Good afternoon, leaders. We made it to Friday of our first week of shelter in place here in Washington. I just want to check in on you and see how you're doing. I know crisis like this, it takes a toll on all of us. Anxiety, worry, just the change being forced upon us by outside of us can be hard to deal with. I just got off a call with one of my high-performing clients that says, she said, I'm an introvert by nature, but I hate being told what to do. I think we can all relate. So I want to thank you for giving me some of your time today as we continue this series leading through adversity. I really appreciate the time you're giving to this. And my goal is to invest in you, to love on you, encourage you, inspire you, and empower you. So if you're new to this, the series so far, this is episode number 3. Episode number 1 was leaders show up, leaders give perspective, and leaders prioritize focus. That was episode 1 of leading through adversity. We are going to get through this, leading through adversity. Episode 2 was yesterday. Leaders provide traction during distraction. Crisis is a distraction. Leaders provide traction. Leaders connect well. People need connection. We're being isolated this time. And leaders adapt through change. So this is episode 3. I hope you grab a pen and some paper, take a few notes. Today I want to shift gears a little bit, and I want to talk about principles of significance. Principles of significance, how through this crisis, through this adversity, we can make decisions that help us become more significant to the people around us. So 3 points again today. Principles of significance, number 1, to achieve a life of significance, make people your highest priority. Make people your highest priority. Many of you know that I love to spend time outdoors, out in the woods. I'm an avid backpacker. I've spent a month at a time in the woods by myself. And one of my times backpacking, I got lost. Well, several times I have. This is just one of those stories. And I got lost and I panicked. And it's an interesting thing that happens to your mind when you realize you're not where you thought you were and you don't know how to get back. And your heart starts to beat faster and your nervous system increases. And when I found out, you get really hyper-focused. Up at that time, you're just looking around in the woods and the birds. And when you realize you're lost, when you realize you're in crisis, your focus sharpens. And all the other competing things go out the window. And I've seen that happen with us now. All the competing focuses that we have, they're just kind of shoved aside. And right now we're hyper-focused on taking care of ourselves, focusing on business, making money, what we're going to do next. And what I hope is happening in you is that some of the impurities of your life are being wiped away and you're focusing on what is most important. I had a conference call with all of my executive clients yesterday, checking in with each one of them, and almost to a person, they said, H, the thing that's coming out of this is that I'm focusing most on relationships, more in relationships than I ever had before. I think that's a very good thing. Make people your highest priority. I've done about 200 funerals in my life. I consider those a sacred honor, and I mean that. And when I find in those times, what floats to the surface in those times of loss and weeping and mourning is the gift of relationships. I've lost track of how many times I've been in a room when someone has taken their last breath. About 200 times I've sat with families mourning the loss of a loved one and walked them through that grieving process in a memorial or a funeral service. And each time in those funerals and memorials, I'll say this is actually a great time to take stock of what is most important. That's what crisis does for us. It's a gift to say what is most important in your life. I'm going to suggest to you that a life of significance, you make people your highest priority. How are you connecting with people right now? connecting with your spouse, your kids, checking in on your parents, brothers and sisters, friends. This is a great time to take stock of those relationships. My entire life is investing in people, and I can tell you it's an incredibly fulfilling and rewarding life. And I would suggest the same for you. In one way or another, if you'll make people your highest priority, your life will take on a much greater depth of significance. So that's number one today. To live a life of significance, make people your highest priority. Number two, I want to focus on listening quite a bit. Make your mindset your highest craft. Make your mindset your highest craft. I've learned in my almost 30 years of leadership that the greatest gap between successful people and unsuccessful people is their thinking. The thinking gap is the single greatest gap between successful and unsuccessful people. It's not your childhood home. It's not your education. It's none of those things. It's not your IQ. It's how you think. It's your mindset. The mindset gap is the single most important gap between successful and unsuccessful people. I got this quote from Einstein. Listen to this. Einstein said, "In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity." In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. Well, that opportunity is only there for people with the mindset to take advantage of it. Right now, in this adversity, in this crisis, there are lots of opportunities. But only those with the mindset for opportunity in crisis are going to take advantage of it. They're going to look around and say, what can I do differently? What can I do better? How can I be a better person? Here's what weak thinking says. Weak thinking says, oh my gosh, how long is this going to last? Oh my gosh, this is terrible. Oh my gosh, the sky is falling. Oh my gosh, we're all going to die. None of that is true. That's a weak mindset. A powerful mindset says this: how can I use this to get better? How can I use this to be better? How can I use this to sharpen my relationships, my thinking, my own personal habits? How can I use this to shore up any weaknesses in my life, overcome obstacles in my life? How can I use this to get better? I came upon this quote by Napoleon Hill. This is powerful. Every adversity, every failure, every heartache comes with the seed of equal or greater benefit. Some of you are writing it down, so I'm going to say it again. This is powerful. Hold on to this. Every adversity, every failure, and every heartache comes with the seed of equal or greater benefit. If you have the right mindset right now, you're planting seeds during this adversity, during this heartache, during this loss, that on the other side of this, are going to provide an equal or greater benefit. Let me share from my own life how this is true. Some of you know my story. I grew up in an alcoholic, abusive home. My dad died when I was very young. That provided tremendous adversity and pain and dysfunction in my childhood home. From that pain and dysfunction and adversity, I made sure to plant seeds in my life. The seeds that I planted were this: all the things that I lacked as a boy, a father figure, someone investing in me, learning what my own value was. I've dedicated my life to investing that in other leaders. So I took what for me is the greatest pain in my life, and I've turned it into the greatest power in my life. I'm going to read it again. Every adversity, every failure, and every heartache comes with a seed of equal or greater benefit. In my life, I've seen that to be true. I encourage it to be true with you as well. Get a load of this. Crisis, I've seen this happen. Crisis bumps us out of our comfort zone and into a creative zone. But again, it's only if you have the right mindset. Crisis bumps us out of our comfort zone and into a creative zone. Are you creating right now? Are you thinking of new ways to do business? New ways to reach clients? New ways to reach referral partners? New sources or opportunities to expand your business once we're on the other side of this? Relationships. Are you discovering skills that have remained dormant, but now you're saying, maybe I can pull those out? Crisis gives us an opportunity to create. You don't believe me? Get a load of this. Think about this. This just dawned on me yesterday. Every medicine we have right now that is for healing benefit came out of sickness and disease. I'm going to say that again. Every medicine we have right now came out of sickness and disease. The vaccines that we're going to produce right now for this, coming out of this crisis. Think about that. So in the middle of crisis, there are people that are creating for the future. Will you be one of them? Will you be one of the people that is creating for the future? Make people your highest priority. Make your mindset your greatest craft. That means you're working on it. You're honing it. You're sharpening your mental game. Number 3, make impact your highest aim. Don't set your sights on income. That's too low. You can do better than that. Aim high. Set your sights on impact. Don't set your sights on success. That's too low. Aim high. Go for significance. Income and success are low. Impact and significance, those are high targets. Let's talk about all and few. All and few. All of us have bad experiences. It's part of the human condition. This is a bad experience. All of us have death. All of us have loss. All of us have heartache. All of us have failure. That's an all. All of us have bad experiences. Get used to it. The second all of us dislike bad experiences. Nobody likes this. This isn't fun for anybody. This is crappy. None of us wanted this. None of us would hope for this. All the bad experiences we had in the past, none of us would hope for or wish on anyone. All of us have bad experiences. All of us dislike bad experiences. Few. Few turn bad into better. Few turn bad into better. Will you be one of the few that takes lemons and makes lemonade? Most people take lemons and they mount them like they're trophies. Look at all this bad stuff. Look at all this crap. Look at all this, and they play the victim card. Significant people take lemons and they make lemonade out of it. Will this be a stumbling block or a stepping stone for you? Many of you have heard me teach on the Stockdale Paradox. It's one of my favorite stories. It comes out of the Vietnam War. Admiral Stockdale was the highest ranking officer at the Hanoi Hilton in Vietnam. As the highest ranking officer, he was tortured regularly. Now think about that adversity. Think about that crisis. You think you have it bad stuck in your house eating pizza? He's in the Hanoi Hilton being tortured. After he came out of it, he led a life of incredible significance, and he was asked who were the prisoners that made it and who didn't make it. And many of you heard me tell this story. I'll say it again because it relates to what we're going through now. He said the people that didn't make it were the optimists. That's surprising. I'm a positive thinker. I thought that was kind of interesting. And by optimists, he meant the ones that just buried their head in the sand. They didn't deal with the reality of the moment. They would say things, we're going to get out of here by Christmas. Christmas came and went, their hope diminished. We're going to get out of here by Easter. Easter came and went, their hope diminished. After setting themselves up for failure so many times, they just crashed. They lost all hope. The Stockdale Paradox is this. Realize the reality of the moment and what it is and how bad it is, but set your mind to say, this is going to be a defining moment of my life. And that's what Admiral Stockdale did. He said, this is going to be the defining moment of my life. And when I'm out of here, when I'm on the other side of this, I'm going to use this for great significance. And he did. So it's called the Stockdale Paradox. Realize the bad that you're in, but say to yourself this, I'm going to make this the defining moment of my life. So I'm going to challenge you. How is this crisis, this adversity, going to help define you to being a better person on the other side of this? Do you want people to say about you, oh, look at her, she made a lot of money, or she left a lasting impact or impression on my life? He sure was successful, or he made a positive impact on hundreds of people. What do you want to be said about you on the other side of this? So 3 things for today to lead a life of significance. Make people your highest priority. And I know people can be a pain. I know they're going to let you down. I know some are going to betray you. I know that people can be the greatest pain in life, but they are the greatest fulfillment in life as well. Make people your highest priority. Make your mindset your greatest craft. Not your industry, not your job, your mindset. How you view life. Make your mindset your greatest craft and make impact your greatest aim. Don't think about income as your greatest aim. That's too low. What kind of impact are you leaving behind you? Okay, that's going to be it for today. Next week, I'm going to spend all week talking about perspective and intentionality. And again, I'm grateful for the time that you give me. My desire is just to add value to your life, to impact your life, to encourage you, to empower you, to inspire you. And I thank you for the time that you've given me for this day. So that's it for today. I hope that you lead well, love the people around you. I love you all, and I hope you go shine.